Welcome back to Dan's Messy Garage. Today I'm in my messy garage and I'm going to be working on some trick flow cylinder heads that came off my brother 71 Comet, and I'm just going to be lapping the valves. I'm going to show you a way to do it. Not the best way, the only way, just a way. And before I do that, I got to finish my cup of coffee. I have a sticky bun from Kroger. It's pretty good. Something I haven't talked about for a while when I thought of the coffee there was if you want to buy me a cup of coffee sometime, just get me a gift card for like Tim Hortons. Or if you don't want to buy me coffee, you can get Amazon gift card, Kroger gift card, money. Just shove some cash in an envelope and you can send it to Dan's Messy Garage, P.O. Box 36, Union Lake, Michigan, 48387-0036. Also, since I'm plugging away here, if you would like a sticker, I have 2 different stickers available. Let's just call it the bigger one and the smaller one. They are $2 each. You just send some money in an envelope. Same P.O. Box 36. And I'll send you out a sticker. But I'm going to finish my sticky bun here while it's still warm. And my coffee. Then we're going to get into the heads. I forgot to mention something. Got my laptop here and I pulled up my YouTube page. Right there is a link. If you want to buy a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or a coffee mug, just go to the merch, DMG merch store. And it should open up where you can buy. I have a couple different logos in there. And t-shirts, aprons, bags, design your own cup products. You know, have fun in there. Buy lots of stuff. And I'm going to set this down. I'm going to start cleaning that head. I'm going to show you a way to do valve lapping. The first step in this is clean, clean, clean. I'm going to clean as much of this gook off as I can. I've got starting fluid, carb cleaner, brake cleaner. I'm going to spray everything on here. Get as much off as I possibly can easily. And I'll bring you back when I get that done. Okay, I have the head cleaned up good enough to work on here. It is a Trick Flow 170. What they call fast as cast head. They're good high flowing heads for a small block Ford. These happen to have stamped on it 58cc combustion chamber sizes. I cleaned off a lot of the schmoo on the combustion chambers, the valves, sprayed out the spring pockets, and I got a lot of the leaves and crud that was stuck in them from sitting around for a while. Now I'm going to get my tools. Well, this little thing here is a what do they call this? Coupler sleeve adapter. But the heads are drilled for 1/2-inch bolts. And if you want to use the heads with a 7/16 bolt or stud, you need those adapter sleeves. Since I'm not sure what head bolts are in the engine we're putting these on, I'll leave them in there. The engine we're putting these heads on is currently in Betty. It's a 347. Has cast iron heads, and I think they're old worked over 289 heads. So these should be a lot better. Valves are held in with keepers. I'm going to get a valve spring compressor, compress each valve, and then take the keepers off, pull the valves out, and I'll show you how I lap them. First step is to take the valves out. Now you can use a manual valve spring compressor like this. What you would do is put it on a stud, and then you take a rocker nut, which I don't have handy, thread it on there, and then you pull on against that rocker nut, and it's going to push down on the spring. You take the keepers off. I'm going to use this type of valve spring compressor. I've had this thing for probably 30 years, if not more. Mechanical, manual, works. One end of it goes against the valve, and the spring fits in this pocket. To begin with, you got to take a mallet. This is a soft blow brass hammer, and I'm going to hit each valve spring retainer. What I'm attempting to do is to have a little spring action to release the keepers from the retainer, so make it easier to compress the spring. Now I should be able to take my valve spring compressor, put it on there, centered on the valve keeper and on the valve, and then squeeze to compress the spring. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm holding it very easily with one hand as I remove these keepers off the valve stem. You can release this. Okay, there's the valve springs and the keeper retainer. But there's the valve. This is the exhaust valve that I just pulled out. I'm going to take this over on the wire wheel and clean that up. And then the surface that we're going to be lapping is right here, this angled surface. I don't know if I can get this in frame right. Angle across here, this surface that meets with the seat in the head. Right in there. I'm going to spin this around and show you what I'm going to be doing. I don't know if I'm going to really be able to show you everything, though. That's a problem with one person, one cell phone, but I'll do my best. So I'm going to take the valve. I'm going to wipe off any obvious crud that's on there. I've got some valve grinding compound. Imagine that. I'm grinding valves and I'm using something for it. So you take a little valve grinding compound and you put it on the seat area, that angled portion. And you stick it back in the head, stick it down inside. You can do it manually. These things here, valve grinding sticks, they have a suction cup that you would put on the valve and then kind of rotate it back and forth like this. and you're spinning the valve. And as you spin it, you'll be pulling it up, and pushing it in, grinding it, pull it up, turn it, push it in, grind it. I'm going to do it a easier way. So I'm going to spin this around so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to put the valve in the chuck, the drill, and I'm going to spin it and work the drill in and out. When I pull up on it, it's going to be grinding away on the valve, grinding compound. Push down, it's going to kind of relax the compound, let it move around and ooze. And up and down and around, I'm going to go both directions. And I'll show you the results. You get the valve in here. And here we go. Go the other direction. Okay, let's take a look at it. Spin this over. Pull the valve out of there. And wipe it off. And what I'm looking for is a nice uniform band across there, just like what you see on the valve and on the valve seat. Want it to be constant around there with no gaps, no burn marks, no nothing, just a nice even portion like that. And you just go through in the other head. Now, like I said, I'm not saying it's the best way, the only way, it's a way. But the old timers, me included, have done it by hand like this many, many times. The problem is these things don't always stick to the valve for a long time. These grinders are old and they just don't have their suction ability anymore to do it by hand. Now, you don't have to do it just with a drill. You can take a piece of like gas line, rubber tube, put that on the valve stem, back here, and rub that rubber tube up and down. You know, work it, get it in there. So I hope you enjoyed this short little video of one way, my way, a way to lap valves in the cylinder head. And I thank you for watching Dan's Messy Garage. Please stay tuned to my channel for other projects, tips, and tricks. And in the future, I'll be putting these heads on a 347 in Betty. Bye.